Farah Hannoun for MMA Junkie, and I'm joined by UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya. Israel, how are you?
I'm very well. Just had a shower, just woke up, had my breathing exercises and a little bit of water, and I feel great.
And how are you going about your days in terms of training and just during these quarantine times?
See, you guys, you're lucky because I was actually gonna spar today. Let me just show you something. This is my teammate Rodney and Eden here getting some
Oh,
work in. So I was gonna
no.
join them, but I skipped that because of you guys. Because of you guys.
Well, we appreciate that. I hope I won't
Word.
hold you up. I won't hold you back for too
You're right.
long. That now it appears that the UFC have kind of closed in terms of their schedule. We've got May 9, fingers crossed, May 9, May 13, May 16. What's the latest update with you? I mean, all signs
Yeah.
are pointing to a Paulo Costa fight. Have you been contacted by the UFC on when and where you could possibly fight?
Not officially, no, but we've let them know our interest. We've piqued interest and told them that yeah, we're ready whenever we've kind of given them a date or a schedule, a time frame when I feel like yeah, but I'm about like 60% in shape right now. I'm not fight shape, but I can still fuck Costa up in this shape. But yeah, I stay ready. Like you see, we still, I mean, all my workouts still get posted. So I just look like I've just been eating and getting fat, lazy. Like you see, my last story on Instagram was like
Ice cream.
Haagen-Dazs salted caramel ice cream with Reese's Pieces cornet cone, and I just mashed it up together. And people think this fat fuck is this all he does during quarantine? But trust me, I'm in fucking shape, and I can still fuck call a pasta up, whatever his name is.
And what date were you looking at? Any May cards, June, July?
Mm, nah, probably around June, July, August sounds about right. June, July, yeah, but we'll see.
Is this in hopes that things will have boiled over and maybe we get at least the Las Vegas show at the Apex Center or Fight Island? Like, where do you think your
Fight
fight might
Island. I like I like Fight Island. The movie, the cinema I have in my head, the because I'm the protagonist, right? And Costa would be the antagonist in the end of this movie. And to finish it off, Fight Island, that just seems like some Mortal Kombat type shit. Like it's just like you couldn't have scripted it any better.
And I spoke to two of your teammates, Dan Hooker and Alexander Volkanovski, and they were both telling me how you guys were having discussions about the possibility of all of you guys going over to Fight Island, getting some training all together, and potentially maybe being all
Yeah.
together on the same card.
Well, this is the first time hearing of it, but I like the idea. I like the idea. With my teammates because they say they'll have training facilities and all that. I'm like, yep, sounds good. I mean, it's not my first time being away from my comforts and isolated, and all I do is just eat, sleep, train, repeat. So it would be cool to do it with my teammates on Fight Island.
And before we dive into a little bit about the Paulo Costa fight, I've seen you going on some nice back and forths on Twitter with John Jones, Tyron Woodley. That kind of came out of nowhere. What are your thoughts on kind of like these guys are in different weight classes? Do you like these options and possibilities for future fights? Or
So you have to realize this, right? Not, I never called out John. I never called out Woodley. But both of them of being the ones to first put my names in their mouth. And we all know the reason why. You know, I'm the young, hot black kid in these streets, and suddenly I'm doing things that they wish they could have done. So naturally for them, the green line monster kind of shows up, but they have to be able to moderate it and realize what that emotion is. Like Tyrone's fucking broke. Tyrone just needs a big money fight. He's got Leon Edwards to worry about. That was the next fight that was supposed to be on, and he would have got his ass whooped by my boy Rocky. But he doesn't see Rocky as a big enough name yet because Rocky's quite, shy. He's the dark horse of the division. So Tyrone's just looking for any fight with anyone that's going to bring him a lot of cash. Example, championship fight going after me. What's his name? Kobe. Like anyone that can drum the beat up for like a mega fight. You know what I mean? And John's just a bitch. I mean, come on, look what he's done. Look, 6 days before he got arrested, he tweeted "Stay home" and blah blah blah, and look what happened. So that's another story for another day. But yeah, it's just a shame, really, that crabs in a bucket. They see another young black guy climbing up and they want to try and tear him down. Sad, really.
And you reiterated that you want to clear out the middleweight division before you think of moving up and possibly facing John Jones. But how important is a John Jones fight to your legacy, in your opinion?
Very important. Like it was something that wasn't there till he uttered my name, and I was like, I see what this is about. I see where destiny is placing, certain characters in my movie. So yeah, that fight is really important. I don't need it, to be honest. My coach doesn't think I need it. My coach would rather just avoid that fight, not because we don't want to fight Jones, but he said it before he got arrested the last time. He said, I'd rather give it to a guy like Stipe. We're not scared of any fucking body. Like he's going after Stipe. So it's not that we don't want to fight, just my coach feels like he's a piece of shit. And my coach really old school and doesn't want to give this opportunity to fight me, the A side, to a guy like Jones, a shit cunt like Jones. So yeah, it's not really important for my legacy, but I want this fight and I'm gonna get this fight.
And how many?
Regardless of if he's champion or not, by the way. Even if he loses that belt, I'm still coming for that ass.
Okay, interesting. Because I was gonna say, like, how many fights you talk about clearing out the middleweight division? Even on your climb, you fought a lot of top guys. Three more fights.
Three, three, probably three. Yeah.
Do you envision who those names could possibly be, like the guys that are on your radar?
Bohachina is the next one. Cannonier is out till like ages, I think end of the year. Darren Till is the only other exciting guy I can think of right now, but he's not really saying it. He's not really done anything crazy at middleweight apart from just kind of beat Gastelum, smart. But if in his next fight he does something crazy and like a first round finish against a really, really good guy, he might be able to see me. But if not, I mean, yeah, Darren's gonna Darren.
And he's projected to face Robert Whitaker. We don't know with travel bans and all that. It was supposed to be in Dublin. I don't think that Dublin show happens in August. But regardless if that is the next fight for both of them, how do you see that fight playing out, and who do you think gets the job done?
I don't know. I'd like to see that fight. Interesting fight. Rob, recently I read an article about him on the sand dunes, and he had this epiphany where he was just like, "Huh? What am I?" And I kind of like that for him. I'm happy for him that he realized that before it was too late, because there's more important things in this world than fighting. He's got a family. He's got friends and other things more important. But definitely fighting is really important. But I'm happy he made that realization that this shit ain't everything. That all this shit's gonna end one day, and then what are you gonna be have left with? Are you gonna be set up for life, or are you gonna be, you know, set up for life and have nothing in your personal life? Like you have to balance it. So I'm glad he's trying to find that balance now. With the fight with Darren, I don't know. I want to see what this new Rob's about. If he's made this epiphany that he doesn't have to like, Wreck-It Ralph it all the time.
And it was recently the 1 year anniversary of your fight with Kelvin Gastelum, and you kind of put a reflective post on that. It's one of the more phenomenal fights we've seen, not just in the that year, but period. I know following it was the Yoel Romero fight, and you received a bit of criticism for that. I felt like you did what you needed to do, because a lot of guys win or lose against Yoel Romero. They take that type of damage that they're not really able to rebound from your career. You said that you felt like Whitaker took a significant amount of damage in those Yoel Romero fights. But now looking at things, because I was going to ask you if there's any regret taking that Yoel Romero fight, but now with all this uncertainty, not knowing when you're going to fight next, that fight was in March, and had you not taken that fight and waited for Paulo Costa, yeah, if you had you not taken that fight and waited for Paulo Costa, you would have been out since October. So looking at it now, I'm sure, like,
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that just because, I have a lot of other things outside, like investments and stuff that I take care of. But also I feel safe. Like I would have been fine for the next couple of years, even if I didn't fight. But for me, knowing that I fought and I feel secure, and I'm moving ahead with some other plans now because I fought recently and I feel secure that, you know, I'll be all right. So it's a blessing in disguise because this whole Corona shit came out of nowhere. Even me talking shit to Corona, talking about I have malaria, which is facts. I had malaria many times. So what the fuck's Corona gonna do to me? But after seeing what's happened and reading more about it and like the symptoms of corona, it seems like a fucked up way to die. So yeah, this whole thing kind of hit the world with a left hook. We weren't ready. We were not ready. But yeah, I'm glad I was.
And talk about the Paulo Costa fight a little bit. Stylistically, I mean, he comes out pretty aggressive. I think we all know what he wants to come out with. We've seen in his past few fights. How do you see this fight with Costa playing out? And you kind of thrive on the counter striking. We saw that in the Robert Whitaker fight.
Yeah, I brought back my counter striking game for the Robert Whitaker fight, but also before that, you guys can see like in the Kelvin Gastelum fight, I showed my toughness. I showed I could be aggressive. I showed I can walk people down. You'll be surprised how I'm gonna walk this guy down at a certain point in this fight, and how he'll be the one taking backward step. I look forward to this game because a lot of people after that fight, and it's perfect. I let them sleep on me like in the movie of my life, even in my documentary. Like every movie, things are going great, and then you need like a something bad's happened, and then you need the finisher of the movie where it rises up again. The last fight, because of the criticism unjustly that I got, is like the dip, the you know what I mean? Like it's like the negative part of the movie, and then this bit is gonna be the bit where I just blow everything out the water and I just like rise to the occasion, and everyone's just like, I can't believe it did that. Like you guys are gonna be really surprised. It's gonna be uh etches of I think UFC 116, Belfort versus Silva, that type shit. You're gonna be really surprised at how this fight plays out because everyone's already counting me out. I mean, but that's normal. I expect this from the people in this game. Fans are fucking fickle. Critics are fucking fickle. The media, even you guys are fickle. You forget. So you're like, oh, I mean, that blah, 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 which wasn't even my fault because I came there to fight and I actually fought. I didn't just stand there like a statue for 3 minutes. I actually came there to fight. So I look forward to this next fight because he's coming to fight as well.
Yeah, and we tend the media guilty of that as well to have short memories in the sport. The kind of whole "you're only as good as your last fight" type of theory. But when you look at the classified, do you envision a certain way it ends? Do you have a prediction for it?
It's finishing. I'm knocking him out. That's how I feel it. It's kill or be killed. Don't get me wrong. Like I don't think he's gonna catch me, and I think if he does, he'll be quite surprised at my durability. Because a lot of people forget. They say, "Oh, he was scared of Romero's power." I was like, "Bro, do you know how many fucking cunts I've fought in this game? Not just in MMA, but in kickboxing. Do you know how many people I've fought? Everyone has power, but there's levels to this power shit. And yeah, like who was even saying that? Woodley was saying that I'm scared of guys with power. Are you dumb? Like for some people in this game who are supposed to be smart, even analysts like Woodley, they really utter some dumb shit sometimes. But yeah, I look forward to the challenge, and I've seen this style so many times. He's orthodox. He's very good. He's very basic, but so am I. But at the same time, I can be different. I'm the one who will dictate this fight. The pace of this fight will be dictated by me because we know who has the pace in this fight, and we know it's not him because he doesn't have the pace or the gas tank to fuck with me.
All right, I'll leave you with two more things because I don't want to take you away from your training. I don't want to leave you without talking about the work you've done in your community in Wanganui, Auckland,
Mm.
Lagos, Nigeria. Tell me a little bit about that and how that came together.
I don't know why everyone keeps talking about this. Like my mom works she sees what happens behind the scenes, so she kind of let me know what was really happening, you know. And it was her suggestion that, oh, would you be able to help out? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm rich. So I was like, fuck, I'll help out the hospital down there. And then I thought, oh, why not help out Auckland as well? And then help out, my home city, my birth city of Lagos. Like I said in another media outlet, I can't help out the whole world, but I can help out the communities that I've been a part of. And it's like if me throwing some money at a problem can help, then sure, because I'm not on the front line. I'm not like my mom, on the front line, actually putting myself at risk with patients and shit. So yeah, if I can just throw some cash at the problem and hopefully help the people, then kapai, cuz kapai.
Well, I bring it up because we have to talk about the good stuff you do behind the scenes that sometimes is not often talked about. No, we have to praise you guys when we're doing stuff like that. It's not
I
only
like
the
being the bad guy.
you don't want me to make you look good. All right.
I like being the asshole. I'm the asshole.
Right.
I'm the heel in this bitch.
At UFC Africa, I've spoken to a couple people about that. Where do you feel? Which country do you feel like has the highest chance of hosting an event in Africa, a UFC event?
Nigeria or Morocco. Those are the two. I really think Nigeria or Morocco. Probably South Africa as well, but yeah, Nigeria or Morocco. But we'll see. That's the thing. That's another. That could even be sooner than later now with all this pandemic going on. So we'll see how things play out.
Well, I'm gonna say I like your answer because my mother's Moroccan, so I'm saying we'll be very happy with your response saying that.
I knew because I was gonna say Brazilian at first, but then that's why I asked. I was like, it's different. It's a skin tone. It's a skin tone.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're definitely gonna like that answer from you. I heard as well that Dana was saying that you were potentially gonna fight Robert Whitaker in Abu Dhabi because I'm from that region as well, from my father's side. So apparently, you were gonna fight Robert Whitaker. That was a possibility. They were discussing that. Were you ever told about
Ooh,
that
first I'm hearing
possibility?
of it. Nope. But why would I fight him again?
No, no,
I
no.
don't
I'm
know.
saying
Like,
when you fought him the first time, they were.
oh, that was a possibility. Nah, that never crossed my ears. But that would have been all right. But I'm glad it was in Melbourne though. Everything happened perfectly. It was in his home country, his backyard, and my people jumped across the ditch and came and took over. So that was beautiful. So everything happened the way it was supposed to happen.
I agree with you, even though I'm from that region, and I should say, of course, we should have
Yeah.
had you there, but I don't think it would have been right if you hadn't fought him there. All right, one last thing. Uh, Perfect scenario, ideal world. When do you fight Paulo and where? If we're up to you.
mm, July on July on Fight Island, but we'll see. July, August.
July, August. All right, there you have it. Well, Israel, I really appreciate your time. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you want to go out there and
All
train,
right.
so I really appreciate you taking the time.
I've got three
And
more phone calls after this, so I'm all right.
all right, I don't want to. Well, anyways, I'll be disturbing you even more for your training if I continue talking to you. So I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you. Easy.